The system performance report can be generated by the system automatically. You can also download the report in Administration, System Diagnostics. The system performance report is an Excel file which consists of a number of tabs. Note that a single report is not very informative. For better analysis, compare data from several reports. The Total tab contains the general information. Web queries are the actions of users in the web browser, such as completing tasks, viewing documents, and so on. Background tasks are user activities which do not directly depend on user actions. Pay attention to the time of SQL queries parameter. It reflects the time spent processing SQL queries compared to the time of processing the other tasks. This parameter should not exceed 30%. If it does, it means that much time is spent on the DBMS work. If it does not, but the system still performs poorly, then the application server may not have sufficient resources. The information about the Server tab provides the system characteristics. If you use MS SQL, you can make sure that the server and Windows have the same architecture. The Web Queries tab shows the information about the web queries generated by user activities in the system. Pay attention to those queries which are more than 10 and have high average time. Using the URL column, you can identify which queries are slow. Usually, those are loading of pages, modified forms, and portlets. If this is the case, to improve performance, you can remove some portlets from a page, enable asynchronous loading for portlets, place few lists on pages, limit displayed lists by 15 items, remove unnecessary fields from forms. The Scripts tab displays all the scripts created in Elma Designer. The code quality directly affects the execution time. If a script works with the database and its execution time is more than 20 seconds, it means that the script is not optimal. However, requests to external systems may take longer to execute. On the Background Tasks tab, pay attention to user requests. For example, if the average time of a process start by timer is too high, check whether a script is executed after the process start. The SQL Queries tab compiles the data on SQL queries execution time. This tab can be helpful if the system performance is influenced by SQL queries. Make sure that queries with issues reoccur by analyzing statistics for several days. The execution time of simple queries involving one table should not exceed 3 seconds. The queries are specified without the data they were invoked with in the system, so you cannot copy them directly to the database. In a query, you can find the requested table, columns, and the past data. Using a query structure, you can create a similar one without the data. To do so, specify actual values instead of the past data. To see what values the required column can have, open MS SQL, select the database, and execute this query. Now copy the most frequent values to the query which you copied from the performance report. Execute the query. Check the number of entries found. The main reason for poor performance of queries is non-optimal execution plan. That is why you should analyze queries for using indexes. On the SQL Queries tab, pay attention to simple queries that take long to execute. For example, selection from one table by one parameter. Usually it indicates that indexes are corrupted. Optimizing complex requests is often very difficult, and low performance can be related to the significant amount of loaded data. To improve the situation, you can optimize the search in the system. Also make note of tables. If data is selected from a system table and it takes longer than it used to, then you may need to rebuild indexes. If it is a custom table, you should try creating new indexes.